Alright, let's see what we got. I don't know. This is Daily Motivator number 100. It's got to be good because it's the 100th one. So it's got to be good. Hi, this is Seth David with Daily Motivator number 100. And we've been talking about letting go. I think I'm going to let go of that topic for a little while and move on to something else. Something else for someone else. Maybe it's for you too. www.youramiracle.com. This is the 100th motivator that I've recorded. This is number 100. This is a big momentous event, a big occasion. Daily Motivator number 100. And, let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about milestones. Because I've talked a lot about setting goals. I've talked a lot about tracking your progress so that you can make sure you're moving in the direction of accomplishing, of reaching those goals. And what does that mean? That means that we want to have milestones in place. We want to have markers. We want to have things that happen, events, triggers that let us know that we're moving in the right direction. Which goes back to why it's so important to track our progress, why it's so important to recognize, to put things in place that enable us to recognize when we've done well. We spend so much time focusing on when we've made mistakes and when we've screwed up. We've spent so much time looking at our liabilities and not nearly enough time focusing on our assets, focusing on what we've done well. All too often, you get a review at work. And what's the focus? The focus is on where you can improve, where you've made mistakes. They don't focus enough on where you've done well. And I saw an example recently, an employee of one of my clients actually. I was very impressed with what he did. He went into his review prepared. He actually went through and took inventory of his assets. He took inventory of the things that he did well. He was able to lay out, here are the things that I've done to improve the process. Here's what I've done to improve how your company works. And that's what he went into his review prepared. I've never seen anyone do that before. I've never done it. And it's a great idea. It's what everyone should do. That's the way you go into your review prepared. Because you never know. Your boss might be looking at a budget and trying to stay within a budget and not really all too concerned, frankly, with what you've done well. And their goal may very well be to keep you down. To be able to say, hey, here's where you need to improve, and I like you, you're a good guy, and I'm glad to have you working with me, but I need to see some improvement in these areas. Well, you can go in there and say, okay, well, can I have a say now, because I've prepared a list. I always talk about lists. I love lists. I prepared a list of the things that I've done well. I'd like us to go over that too, if we could. And I think any boss who's not completely impressed by that doesn't deserve to be a boss of anyone, anywhere. You have to be impressed by that. So make sure that you're taking stock of your assets, that you're keeping track of the things you do well. Make sure that you're aware of what those milestones are, when you've gotten something accomplished, where you could say to yourself, wow, this is good. Where, in my case, with these daily motivators, back on October 1st, I sent out the first one, and my goal was to keep doing this, and I almost gave up a few times because I wasn't consistent, because I stopped and fell behind, but I'm still sticking with it. I keep just getting up and saying, I'm going to stick with this and do this. So that's what I suggest to you for today. Stick with it. Keep doing it. Even if you find you've fallen behind, then fall behind, fine, but just pick it up. The only time you fail is when you stop picking it up again. When you actually give up, that's when you fail. So don't give up. Keep trying, keep having at it. Set those milestones and make sure that you acknowledge yourself when you've reached those milestones. You're a miracle. Get excited about today.